Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today, viewers, I want to explain a very important point in Stephen Covey's famous book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. He said that in life we have three problems, and we can solve these problems, and these problems are direct control problems, indirect control problems, and no control problems. So Stephen Covey explains that we are responsible for our life, and we cannot abdicate our responsibility for anything, for any problem. So the three problems for which happens to be in every human being's life is the direct control problem, indirect control problem, and no control problem. Let me explain these things, these three problems. Direct control problem number one. Direct control problems are problems we are facing in life which we can change by acting upon our behavior individually. For instance, a person is alcoholic or he is a chain smoker and he wants to change that habit of himself. So what he does, he actually work on his habits. For instance, he makes a decision that from now on I will not smoke, and he stops smoking after making a strong decision, and by his willpower he changes his habit. So this is a direct control problem. Now the indirect control problem. This indirect control problems, it concerns with other people. For instance, I have a boss. I have a boss, and he dislikes me, and he do not like my work or my behavior. So this is something that I cannot change by working on my habit. I can change this by working on my behavior so that I can influence my uh, boss's behavior. So I will work on my uh, human relationship skills. So what would I do? I will work on my own behavior. For instance, uh, I will work on my empathy. I will work on my way of mm, dealing with my boss. I will try to understand what he feels, and I will be more kind, I will be more considerate. So, indirect control problems are when I work on my own behavior, and after working on my own behavior, I deal with my boss or my friend or for my coworker and whoever I am dealing with. So, Stephen Covey explains that those uh, indirect control problems, majority of the people do what they do. They exercise three options: logic, fight, and flight. In logic, for instance, he will explain if he has a person has a problem with his co-worker or with his boss, then logical, how he will deal with logic. He will explain his point with logic, and if he fails in it, he will try to fight. Fight means um, that would be like two lions fighting for a territory, and then if he fails in that fight, or he's a weak, physically weak or mentally weak, then he will be in the lose win situation. And the next point is the flight. when he is weak or he is mentally weak, physically weak, he will run away from the situation. He will run away from his teammate or um, his opponent and whatever whatsoever. So this is the indirect problem, and Stephen Covey explains that um, apart from logic, fight, and flight, he has identified 35 different human human influencing behaviors like empathy, kindness, consideration, win-win situation, love, and a number of 35. You can go to the or you can go on Google and you will find those 35 behaviors, human relationship behaviors. The last mm, the last factor point is the last point is the no control problem. No control problem. Let me explain this point. No control problems are when there is something that we can't do anything about it, and we can only do what we can change our attitude to that problem. For instance, I had a scar on my forehead, and I am worried about that scar. So nothing can be done about it because that scar, if I think positively and whatever, that scar will never go. So what I can do, the best thing is to see my scar on my forehead, accept it, enjoy it, and forget about it. So this is the indirect control problem, means uh, that we accept it with our heart, whether it is a physical disability or whether it's a something whatever, some problem with our behavior. Well, we can change our behavior, but physical disabilities and something in the past, something happens in our past. We lost a dear one, or we got fired from a job, or we had a divorce, and some unhappy event in the past, and we are thinking about it, and we are repeating it. So the best thing is to forget about it and move forward. So this is the indirect control problem solution. So in conclusion, let me repeat the three factors again that Stephen Covey explains, that we have every human being has problems, but all problems on earth falls in these three categories: direct control problem, indirect control problem, and no control problem. And in all these factors, the first step is that we can do something about all those problems. So we are proactive, we are responsible, and we can change our life. Thank you so much, and please like my video. Thank you so much.